Today we're working on a special class of ER verbs for the 8th standard students, which is the CER verbs. Okay. Now we've already studied the ER verbs in the regular families, the ER verbs, the IR verbs, and the RE verbs. Now within the ER verbs, okay, among those ending with ER which follow the rules, there are some which follow the rules, yes, the same rules as the ER verbs, but there is one additional rule that you have to follow. Now those two sets are the CER, that is where you have a C before the ER, and the GER, okay, where you have a G before the ER. They follow the same rules that you have already learned for the ER verbs, but they do follow one additional rule which we'll be learning in this video. Okay, this video will show you how to tackle the CER verbs. The next video will show you how to tackle the GER verbs. So some examples of CER verbs, those ending with CER: como ser, to start; placer, to place; romplacer, to replace; annoncer, to announce; pronuncier, to pronounce; and forcer is to force. There are many more. Okay, so these are the CER verbs. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of how you conjugate them, we need to do a little bit of pronunciation work. Now, in English, when we talk about the letter C, it makes two different sounds, right? One is the k sound, which is the hard C sound. The k sound will more like a K sound, right? And there is one sound which is more like an S sound, that is the S sound. One is the k sound, that is the hard C sound, which I've represented with red here, and another sound is the S sound, which is a soft C, which I've put in blue. Okay, so cat, coat. Can you hear the k sound? That is the hard C sound. Okay. Then celebrate, century. Can you hear the S sound, which is a soft C sound, the S sound? Okay, so those are the two kinds of sounds that you get from the letter C in English as well as in French. Now, in French, what sound you get from the C is decided by what vowel follows it. Okay, if it's followed by a consonant, it will always give you the k sound. That is not what we're interested in. We're interested in what happens when it's followed by a vowel. Certain vowels will give you the k sound, certain vowels will give you the s sound. So let's look at that. So when it's followed by a, it will give you the hard C, the k sound. So un camion, for example, a truck, camion. Can you hear the k sound? Then when it's followed by e, it gives you the soft sound, the s sound, un son, son. Can you hear this s sound? Un son is 100. Okay, son. When it's followed by an e, gives you the soft sound. Then when it's followed by I, un cinema, cinema. Can you hear the s sound, the s sound? That's a soft sound again. Okay. Then when it's followed by O, un cochon, un cochon. Can you hear the k sound now? Cochon. That's the hard C sound. Then when it's followed by U, une cuisine, une cuisine. Can you hear the k sound again? That's again the hard C sound. Okay, so when it's followed by the 5 basic vowels, A, O, and U give you the hard C sound, that is the k sound. When it's followed by E and I will give you the soft C sound, that is the S sound. Now what happens when your letter C is followed by A, O, or U, but you want to give it the soft C sound, that is the S sound? What do you do then? You bring into play this accent called la cédille, okay, which you have studied at the start of your journey into French. Okay, this is the accent la cédille. This is where it comes into play. Okay, when you want to give the s sound, but the C is followed by A, O, and U. So in order to transform that hard C sound into a soft C sound, when it's A, O, and U, you have to use the cédille. So une façade. Okay, façade. Can you hear this, the S sound here? Façade, right? That's because of the city. Then, if you want to give a soft C sound for an O, garçon, son. Can you hear the S sound? That's because of the city. If it didn't have the city, it would be garçon, which makes no sense, right? It has to be garçon, therefore the city is important. Then, in front of a U, déçu, déçu, not décu, déçu. Can you hear the S sound? That's because the U is preceded by a C which has the cédille below it. Okay. Now, when C is followed by E and I, it will never give you the hard sound. Okay, C and when followed by E and I will always give you the soft sound. Therefore, there is no need to ever put a cédille on a C when it is followed by an E or an I, because the C by itself is automatically giving you the soft sound. Now, Armed with this much knowledge of how you use the siddhi and when it is used, we can go into the CER verbs. So let's take one example of como ser. Okay, como ser is to start as a CER verb. We follow the same procedure to start with as the ER verb. So you take the root, as you cancel off the ER, you are left with COM and ENC. You draw your table, subjects, and the root, which is the same for all. Then the endings. Okay, according to the ER family, the normal endings EESE, ONSEZ, ENT. Then you add it all up, you'll get the present tense like this. Now, this is the normal ER verb. Now, in addition to this, there is one extra rule which you need to put into practice. Listen carefully. The only extra rule for the CER family in the present tense is for the new form, and for only the new form, the C before the ONS is replaced by a C with the SED. I'm repeating, the only exception, the only additional rule for the CER verbs in the present tense is for the new form, you have to substitute the C with the CCD before the ONS. Okay, now I'll tell you why that happens. So when C is preceded by E, remember it is como ser. Okay, C followed by E, sorry, como ser gives you the soft sound. So this is followed by E, je commence, tu commences, il commence, okay, followed by E, so it retains a soft sound. Then vous commencez and il commence. These five, okay, je, tu, il, elle, vous, il, elle, they are all followed by E, which gives you the soft sound. Okay, so there is no need of any accent adding. Now when you come to this one and you see that previously there was no accent, right? So now you know that when C is followed by O, U and A, it gives you the hard sound. So what would this become? Como con. But we want como son because our verb is como ser, right? We want to retain that soft sound. So you have to put in the extra accent, okay, below the C only for the new form. Because for the others it is already followed by E. Therefore it is already the soft sound. Only for the new form we needed to introduce the soft sound before the O. So the CER follows the same rules as the standard ER verbs. The only additional rule is for the new form you have to add an accent below the C. Okay, I hope you've understood this topic. If you want for practice, you can conjugate a couple of the verbs which I had given to you on the first slide, like placer, remplacer, annoncer, and so on. Okay, in the next video, we'll be discussing the GER family, which is similar to the CER family. Hope to see you there. Take care.